Hello and namaste, everybody. Well, you won't be finding me so much smiling today for a reason, and you know the reason what is happening for last 12 days. And well, you won't be finding. And being an NRI, we all feel that we have a responsibility to look after, and we have to do something for India. Well, good morning, America, and good evening, India. Thank you very much for joining me live. We'll wait me so much smiling today for a reason, and you know the reason what is happening for last 12 days. And well, you won't be finding. And being an NRI, we all feel that we have a responsibility to look after.
Wait
and
one
we have
second.
to
Let
do
me see
something
why the voice is being echoed.
for India. Well, good morning, America, and good evening, India. Thank you very much for joining me live. We'll wait me so much smiling today for a reason, and you know the reason what is happening for last 12 days. And well, you won't be finding. And being an NRI, we all feel that we have a responsibility to look after.
Wait
and
one
we have
second.
to
Let
do
me see
something
why the voice is being echoed.
for India. Well, good morning, America, and good evening, India.
I don't
Thank
know.
you
what
very
is
much
happening.
for
Can-
joining
can
me
you hear
live.
my
We'll
voice?
wait me so much smiling.
Okay, we are good now.
Hello, everybody. Sorry for it was a technical glitch. We are still waiting for our friend, Dr. Barai, to join. But meanwhile, I wanted to give you a little background why we are doing this show today. Myself, Kunal Jain, and today we come together not just as observers, but as a global Indian community. And we are concerned, we are connected, we are committed. Whether you are in Chicago, London, Toronto, Dubai, or Sydney, and I know we have some audience in Sweden, one thing is clear that our emotions are running extremely, extremely high. We are angry, we are anxious, we don't know what's going on in Delhi, we don't know what's going on our borders in India. And I always feel that we have a power being an NRI. There are 4 million Indian American votes in United States. And when we can influence the elections here in United States, we can very well do something for India when it comes to our nation, our motherland. And that is the whole purpose why we are doing this show, NRIs. We want you to join as and when we have every Sunday, we have some guests and we call them to talk about India and what NRIs can do as a contribution for India. Now, the tensions back home is not just, of course, felt in India, it is ripping across the world, no matter where they are. And this time, the good thing is that the entire world is standing firm with India. So before we move forward with our guest and our conversation, I want to show you some videos which you would like to see what is happening in Chicago and what is Indian or Indians power. Look at this video. This is Chicago. These are about 600 Indians who see our guest right here. This is happening. Now when you hear Indians are protesting, whatever they say in their protest, they all are connected to our own. Look at this video. Anyway, I'll show you one more video.
Please. I don't know what to say.
Just
What are you doing every day? Can you just stop what you're doing? Help your own people by stopping terrorism.
Supporting what Indians are doing, and this is the power of what Indians can do. This is happening.
Pakistan! Stop Hindu genocide! Pakistan! Stop
Behind
genocide!
we have
Stop
a massive industry erupted. Dr. Bharat Rai, welcome. Dr. Bharat Rai, welcome. Welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Good.
So I just showed all the videos.
Sure.
Gather. Thank you very much. I know it is not time going on. All our answers. We have our own. Very simple. be stress free, terror free, anxiety free, and our people to live in peace. And this is the goal for all of us here. So I was like going through a lot of, like, I'm sure you are also going through the same level of anxiety or stress for last 12 days. What has been happening around the world, what is happening around the globe, what is happening back in India. And I know you have a very good relationship with Mr. Modi, so I would not be surprised you have some insider information which probably we don't have. So it's a very important show today. So the thought which most NRI comes up with, and I want to come up with those kind of questions which probably you may not have answered on other shows. I know you are very popular on Indian TV channels. You're always there talking about what's going on here. But here, our audience is more NRIs, and we want them to understand what is happening in India. So, first, I would like to welcome you to the show, and I want to pick up your brain, what you have to say in this context. And we all know the context about Pahalgam attack, so I'm not going to repeat the whole story. I'm not going to say the same thing again, which we are hearing on different channels. So, I want you to start with whatever the thoughts you are coming up, what you want to say as an NRI, how do you feel, and then we'll talk about the questions.
Thank you, Kunal, for inviting me to speak on your show and share my views. Let me clarify. Yes, I do know Prime Minister Narendra Modi for last 35 years, but on national security matters, I think it should be left to the government headed by Prime Minister Modi, because I should not use personal relationship to do anything which will cloud what is in the best interest of India. So
Yes, you're
I'm not to
absolutely
discuss
right.
with him at all.
No, I know.
Yeah. Now, all the NRIs, they feel very strongly about what has happened, both being of Indian origin and second as human being, killing 26 innocent people,
28
making
now. Yeah.
making so many widows, making so many children without father. I mean, this is the most heartless and cruel thing that any human being can do.
It's even bigger than 26/7, I can tell you. This is like knowingly, this is like candid killing.
And right in presence of their sons and daughters, and right in presence of
Families,
their
yes.
wives, killing them, asking them what is their religion. And those who were not Muslims were shot dead by using their AK-47. So not only the guys who did this, but all the people who collaborated with them, who helped them, who sheltered them, who financed them, and the people who conspired that. This kind of things don't happen overnight. Somebody had to plan this kind of massacre. So all those people need to be punished, and they need to be punished very severely. Having said that, when you think of planning it, you also have to take into account strategy, how best to do it. Obviously, everybody's blood is boiling. I'm sure it is happening in India, and it's happening here too. In fact,
Yeah,
every day,
I'm in India right now. It's just people are so angry.
every function that I go, people ask me, Bharat, when is India going to strike back? And I
Yes,
said, leave it to the best judgment of Prime Minister Modi and the government. Their blood is boiling as much as our blood is boiling. But being the head of state, they have responsibility, A, to win the war, and two, win the war with minimum damage and minimum casualties. Also recognizing that Pakistan, if you look into the Pakistan's background at this time, it's really a military dictatorship wearing the clothes of a civilian government. Somebody had asked me, what about Pakistani government? And I said, which Pakistani government? There are there are multiple. Yeah, which
yeah,
Pakistani government? The
that
one
is
headed, dictated by the army,
Yeah.
one by so-called prime minister,
Yeah.
another by so-called mullahs,
Yeah.
fourth another by the terrorist.
Yeah.
I mean, who is governing Pakistan? And
Who's the head of Pakistan? Yeah.
reality is it's a lawless country, and the only people who have some power is the army. And what is dangerous now with the Pakistani army is General Asim Munir. He is a hardcore Islamic terrorist himself. He is the
Wow.
he is the son of an imam. Remember, he was born in imam's family in Rawalpindi,
Wow.
and all he
He was
learned, just like many madrasa student, what is his qualification as a student? He knew how to cram Quran. That is it. He did not get PhD or he did not excel in his study in mathematics or science or anything. His main qualification that he was able to recite the Quran. Now that part is okay. If
yeah.
somebody wants to recite Bible or Quran
Yeah.
or Gita,
Yeah.
but they should also have other excellent
Qualification
qualifications.
to become a general of army.
Right.
Yeah.
And his main thing was that when he was the chief of ISI, he tangled with Imran Khan,
Uh-huh.
and all the indications are that he was responsible for getting Imran Khan behind the bars.
Wow.
So,
So he's the one who slapped Imran Khan when that controversy happened. He's the
correct.
one, the
And
guy. Yeah.
now he put him. Not only that, 2 weeks ago, if you
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
his speech to the non-resident Pakistanis who had
Uh,
collected in Islamabad, he said that we are a superior culture, we have superior ideology. So he considers himself as a superior race, and that is like Nazis. The
yeah.
Nazis thought that they were the superior race and they were destined to rule all over the world. And this person, Asim Munir, thinks himself the same way, that he is a superior race, he has a superior ideology, and the Hindus are the ones who are destined to be ruled by people like him. Now, that doesn't mean that he will be successful, but these are the guys who lead their countries, their people into destruction. That's what Hitler did. Initially, they do have some success. Yes, Hitler's army rolled into France. It rolled into all over Europe. You can say Belgium. It rolled over into Netherlands. It rolled over all over the world. Except when they went into Russia, they encountered the defeat. So Pakistan right now is power drunken. Sherry Rahman, their one of the minister, goes in their so-called parliament and says, "Oh, we have nuclear weapons." The other minister also goes and says, "Oh, we have 130 nuclear weapons."
It's
Bhutto
all
goes and Bhutto goes and says, "Oh, either the water will flow in Indus or blood will flow." These
yes.
guys are the most irresponsible public officials who, instead of, as compared to that, look at it, except for warning that those people will be severely punished, those who committed this dastardly, heinous act and their backers. Indian government has not gone into any kind of hyperbole. They have not gone to any kind of things. But I can assure you, Kunal, knowing the government and the person who is the head of the government, they are doing their homework very quietly, very diligently, very methodically to see that India becomes victorious. And the goal that they have espoused, that the perpetrators will be severely punished and their backers also will be held accountable, will come true. Now, it can come true diplomatically, politically, economically, and militarily. I think three of the things have already been done: political, economic, the military part is yet to come. But you realize that, yes, we do recognize, and everybody has to recognize what are the abilities and vulnerabilities of your enemy. So, reality is that Pakistan does have nuclear weapons. However, to deliver the nuclear weapons, you need either aircraft or you need the missiles. And I believe Pakistan has old vintage F-16, and I do not believe that they are capable of delivering
Right.
nuclear
Yeah.
weapons.
Yeah.
Yet you have to be prepared to shoot them down should they try to venture. The second are the ballistic missiles, surface to surface. Now we know that Pakistan does have surface to surface missiles. In fact, yesterday only they claimed that they tested new 450-kilometer surface to surface missiles, but we know that they have missiles, Ghazni and Gori and all those. Now we know that those missiles are not invulnerable. As Israel and United States show, Iran fired almost 300 plus missiles at Israel, and almost all of them were shot down before they could even reach Israel. And I believe that any responsible government will try to shore up the defenses, that if Pakistan was to use any nuclear weapons against India, then those missiles can be shot down. And with this guy who is a religious ideologue who thinks that he is a superior race, he will he may try to use nuclear weapons against India. So any responsible government in India has to take every possible measure to shoot down those missiles and make sure that Pakistan is not able to deliver its nuclear weapons and cause damage. Now, if they do try to do that, which they may, especially knowing, see, General Bajwa was a more calculated person. This guy is a religious ideologue like a Nazi Hitler, and out of his ideology that if he kills some Hindus, he will go to heaven and get 72
He
world.
still believes that. He
Yeah,
still believes.
and 10 kilos. That's what these guys are indoctrinated. It's almost like cross the border and
Hitler
you
who
go
has
from
72
USA
who.
to Canada. Yeah, they think, okay, if you kill so many Hindus, you will go to heaven. You get 10 kilos of gold and 72 virgins and all those things. This is what they are taught in this religious ideological thing. And this guy, Asim Munir, is the one who has been brought up in that kind of environment. So he probably believes that if you kill 1 million or 2 million Hindus, then he will go to heaven and he will get all that reward. He doesn't realize that India also has nuclear weapons. And if Pakistan indulge in any kind of misadventure, Indian government should not hesitate to wipe off Pakistan from the map of earth. The world will be better off without Pakistan in this world than with Pakistan.
So we'll take a break here because we have some questions, and
Sure.
we all know this, right? We all want India to win the war against terrorism. We all want that for a long time. You have been into United States for so many years. You saw what happens after 9/11. These guys took some urgent, even they created the whole Department of Homeland Securities, America. They took so many measures that it doesn't happen again. So if we compare that, what happened 26/11 happened. After that, we have 8 attacks in India after 26/11. And the bigger question most NRIs are worried about, because they live in developed countries, whether it's UK, United States, Sweden, America, Australia. They all see, if something drastic happens, which can happen in any country, these countries take some measures which prevent the future accidents. What most people are asking is, why didn't India take any of those measures when they know the threat is right there? Pakistan do exist for last 78 years. They know the threat. They know the country who is doing all of this nonsense. And still we just forgive them, forget them, and we keep go back to our own lifestyle. Nothing changes. That is, I don't know how to answer this question. You are more experienced than me. What do you feel? I'm sure you also feel the same thing, that we have seen 9/11. Nothing happens after that. We are pretty safe. The country took some measures, but why didn't India took those measures to protect our borders?
Well, I'll give you the answer. And
Mhm.
these are the things that I do discuss with some of the people in India.
Right.
Kunal, India has a very long border with Pakistan.
Right.
Now, the border in Kutch, and I visited the border myself in Kutch. It's a
Okay.
double barbed wire. Yes, I've gone all the way to Pakistan border in Kutch. That was few years ago. I was able to get the military pass, and they escorted us all the way to the
Uh-huh.
Kutch border.
Mhm.
It's a double fence border. There is a road, Pakka Damar Road,
Uh-huh.
tar road, all the way adjoining the double barbed wire fence. And at interval, there are bunkers. Same thing in Rajasthan. Same thing in Punjab. Most of the border is double barbed sill border. But where the rivers, they're supposed to provide natural barrier, that is no longer true because people can cross the river. Now in Kashmir, it's a different situation. The so-called line of control, it is very densely forested. There are very dense forests. So that's problem number one. There you can do electronic surveillance, but building a physical double barbed wire fence is extremely difficult. You will have to do a lot of deforestation before you can do that. Problem number two, while most of the Muslims in India take pride in being Indian Muslims, there is a small, very tiny percentage who still think that they are Pakistani citizens. They
Or they
believe
think that their religion is bigger than their
their
nation,
religion is bigger than their
country,
nationality.
their nation.
And they are the ones who are helping this terrorist. Even today, you heard the news that they arrested some people in Amritsar who I believe from the names are Punjabi Sikhs who were passing information to Pakistan. So there are some people who can be bought out. Even some Hindus have been arrested for sake of money. They have passed on information to Pakistan. So unfortunately, there are some people who are corrupt, who don't share the country's interest, people's interest first. They share their personal interest. Some people who are involved in sex scandals, and they can be blackmailed or purchased.
You know, Imran Khan's news you heard last week. That was so funny.
So
Uh,
the other thing is, as I was talking last night with some friends, I can't believe that Prime Minister Nehru and others made such
Blunders.
gross mistake at time of 1947 that a Britisher puts a line across India and draws the border between Pakistan and India. For
Yes.
example, the Nankana Sahib, it's only about 3 or 4 kilometers from India's border. If
Yes.
it is such a holy Sikh place that now we have created a Kartarpur corridor, why was it not included within India's border at that time?
Yes.
Second is about this chicken neck in Bangladesh. How come they did not realize that this leaves a very small, narrow corridor for rest of India to connect with Northeast? And now this guy, Muhammad Yunus, he goes to China and is trying to point out to China. I think he doesn't realize the Chinese are more cunning than him.
It's so silly. I
So
can't believe.
why in the world, when India was divided, they could not have had enough wide enough secure corridor? And now many people are asking that the next thing India should do is cut out that chicken neck thing and take possession of that much land from Bangladesh and
Mhm.
maybe make it a Hindu enclave. Well, we'll see what the government does. So there are some of the basic mistakes that Nehru government created. And then he was a goofy person, always talking about oh Panchsheel and Hindi Chini bye bye. So Nehru, in my opinion, was not fit to be a prime minister. And this, there are many people who point out what are the basic mistakes of Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. One of the big mistake was that when India was divided and the prime minister was selected, either 12 or 15 out of 16 Pradesh Congress committees had voted for Sardar Patel to be the
But he
prime
did not
minister.
listen. Listen, he did not listen to them.
And Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi overrode that decision. So you are talking about democracy and will of the people. And here he overrode and thought that because Gandhi, because Nehru was kind of little fairer looking and little more
But
polished, but we did
but
not want a
yeah.
polished person. We wanted a
But
smart person to take.
Dr. Barai, we have to see this is all past. For how long we will continue to talk
But
about the
we are, because look, that is haunting us now. It is haunting us now.
we have to figure out a way out. We have to
Well,
figure
the
out.
only way you can figure out if someday there is a conflict between Bangladesh and India, then yes, that would be a priority to take it. I mean, since you
So
raised
tell
the
me,
issue
do you
about,
have a feeling? Tell me, do you have a feeling, which we all do? We all are smart people who are living in America, that probably this administration, which is Modi's administration, will take this opportunity to go all the way to POK, or probably make an Akhand Bharat, which we have been talking about, and clean up all the mess which has happened in the past. Do you think this can happen?
Pakistan is a very poor country.
Right.
They have no skills except terrorizing. My question will be, why do you want those 220 million people to add to our burden? If I was
Oh,
Prime
that's
Minister
what.
of Pakistan,
Mhm.
you are adding 220 million people on welfare who are not industrious, whose only skills are to go to madrasas, create terrorism. That's the reason why they are suffering. Now, why would you want to add
But
200 million?
we want to take our land back, which is all the way to POK.
But if you are only taking land back, that is different. You will also take back 220 million non-productive people.
So there was another thought which was coming, that some people are saying that the Pakistan would be split into four zones, like Sindh, Baloch, and so I'll show you something really nice. Wait, I wanted to show you this on the show. So I found this Akhand Bharat. This is a Asia map, and this map, if you see, from 1897, and this has Akhand Bharat. You can see it goes all the way to Balochistan, all this pink side, China, these borders right there, Sri Lanka, and all the way to this. 1897. This is like complete Akhand Bharat map. You can see it?
Yeah.
And I felt so. This I got it in America, and I brought it back with me to India. And I was so excited about it, that what if India, because that's what the RSS vision is, and Modi is basically what everybody thinks that is the leader of RSS, and RSS has been working on this Akhand Bharat vision for a long time. So now a lot of people are excited that if something happens, if the war happens, if anything happens, will it go until that level, that it would be a huge escalation of army, it would be a huge control, or it will not be anything. So either it would be, aar par ki ladai.
Well, that may only happen if if there was a nuclear war and Pakistan was wiped off. Then you are only acquiring the land. You are not acquiring the liability of 220 million people who are do nothing.
But they would be split, like in the zone, like Punjab and Sindh and Baloch, and they will
Well,
not.
once if there is a nuclear war, which I hope doesn't happen,
Hmm.
and Pakistan is wiped off, especially their population,
No,
then
no,
there
no.
will be a lot of cleanup.
But what if there is no nuclear war, and there's a huge escalation, and only the Pakistan itself breaks out, like it just Pakistan itself, like just like Bangladesh happened, the same way.
Well, Bangladesh is plus and minus. If it becomes a responsible country, you will always find some hardcore Islamist who will go and kill their prime minister, like Sheikh Mujibur Rahman was killed, or
Right,
how Sheikh Hasina was displaced.
right.
So, the other argument about splitting up four, well, why don't you let them fight among themselves and let them kill themselves rather than us trying to do that and then you give them 4 votes in United Nations instead of 1 vote. See, now what we have ended up doing is there is a vote of Pakistan and there is a vote of Bangladesh in United Nations. So right now there are already 57 Islamic votes in United Nations. You don't want to make it 61.
That will also be a problem. So-
I would, I would say that let them fall under their own weight, let
Right.
them fight out among themselves, because reality is they don't have enough food to eat 220 million people now.
And no water now.
And it will take little time.
Yeah.
So I think the best thing is let them kill themselves, let them fight it out among themselves. Don't provide them any resources or don't provide them any lifeline. And I can tell you, Kunal, even China does not have the capacity to feed so many million
No,
non-productive Pakistanis.
that's true.
Now, tell me one major company that wants to put its plant in Pakistan.
I don't
Is
think
there a
so.
Microsoft there that's putting it? I mean, Microsoft may go to sell their Windows, or
Yes.
Google may go there to sell their product,
Cloud
but
software. Yeah.
they are not putting up a plant employing 10,000 Pakistanis or 50,000 Pakistanis. Nobody wants to go there, like that Ceylonese person, Sri Lankan person, who somebody said, oh, he did blasphemy, and they beat him to death.
Yeah. That's why, what business is thriving in Pakistan? Cyber crimes.
Yeah.
So all these cyber terrorists are sitting in Pakistan because that's what they could do, and the criminals all over the world are using their minds for that cyber crimes. So that's the only thing which is
Well,
happening.
then there are companies which know how to prevent and thwart this kind of cyber attack. So that will go on because the electrons, they don't need passport or visa.
Right.
So they will go all across the border.
Yes, that's what happening with the cloud. And well, so what do you think, NRIs now? What is our responsibility? Because I know most NRIs are very excited. They want to do something, but they feel like nobody will hear our voice. They feel like we are not heard. I mean, I always think we are 4 million votes in the United States of America when we can influence. When this happened, our vice president was here in my town in Jaipur. Him and JD Vance and his wife, they both were with the kids. A day before our prime minister received them in Delhi, next day they were here and this happened.
Kunal, I don't know whether this was timed.
Hmm.
I was reading today morning saying that these terrorists were trying to coincide with prime minister's visit. So
Uh-huh.
this all speculation, unless those people are caught alive
Right.
and then information is extracted, this will all be speculation. I also noted with interest that when President Trump visited India in February of 2020,
Hmm.
at that time also riots were created in Delhi.
Yes,
So
yes.
I'm sure there are some people
Who
who
wants
want
to
to
create
draw
that?
attention that when a prominent figure from USA is visiting India to create a big incident, same way, if you remember when President Clinton was visiting India, at that time 36 Sikhs were massacred in
Yes,
Kashmir.
yes.
So it's probably more than a coincidence. They are timing their event so that it catches more prominence than it will otherwise. And Pakistan, of course, is expert in creating trouble everywhere. As somebody had said, that whenever there is any terrorist incidents anywhere in the world, and if you trace back, Pakistan is somewhere involved in that terrorist incidents. And part of the reason is they don't care what happens to other people. Their army doesn't care. In fact, believe it or not, there are many Pakistani doctors that I know in USA. They hate their army.
They do. I spoke to some of my
They
friends. They
say, yeah, they say that the people in army, especially the officers of Pakistani army, they control 80% of the business. They own 80% of the property in Pakistan. They live in very posh housing. They have very comfortable life. Many of them even drink alcohol in spite of being quote unquote Islamic.
Islam, yeah. But you know the first thing this guy did, Munir, he sent his family to US.
Yeah.
I mean, what kind of message he is giving to his army that he wants to protect his own family, but he doesn't want to die, but he wants to have his people die. This is
In
so
fact,
nonsense.
I heard from some other people, and I have no way of verifying whether it's true or
That
not,
he is also in US.
that many of the top
Mm,
people,
mm,
many of the top Pakistani generals have
uh,
sent their families abroad. So, in
yes.
case there is a war and something happens, at least their family is protected. So, they,
Somebody was asking me in our group that what should our NRIs families who have green card holders, their parents, their families, should they fly back to US or what should they do? And I said, I don't know. I mean, this is like a kind of
look, anything may happen. Prime Minister Modi will do everything to try to protect the interest of India as well as Indians.
yes.
But there is no way to predict. I mean, this is an uncertain thing. But one thing is that if there is a nuclear attack on India by this rash, irresponsible general, probably there won't be any Pakistan because India is not going to spare them.
India will wait until Pakistan reacts or India would go first.
Again, no way to predict. I, my theory, and this is purely my speculation with no input from anybody, that India is preparing either to position or acquire anti missile technology.
Oh.
If I was Prime Minister of India,
Mhm.
I will go and ask USA and Israel to supply additional anti ballistic missile batteries because now we know that they are proven. Israel and United States shot down every ballistic missile that was
Yeah.
fired at Israel by Iranians.
Yes.
So they might be, Narendra Modi is not a fool. He is a very smart man. He is a
Yes.
very calculated man, but he is not a rash or emotional person.
Right.
So he is. If I was there in his place, I'll be busy acquiring that technology. Now, I read a few weeks ago that India was the fourth country in the world to develop laser technology to shoot down drones, missiles, aircraft. Obviously, that was just announced. Whether it is in a stage where they are able to deploy it or it is a stage in the laboratories and they have to go for commercial production of that, again, we'll never know. But if I was the PM, I'll be busy trying to acquire because the aircraft part we know. We have the Russian S-400, we have our own anti missile, but to counter the ballistic missiles, because if there are 130 nuclear warheads as it is, or 154, nobody knows, Pakistan only knows, then you will have to shoot down at least 150 to 200 incoming ballistic missiles.
Correct. But yeah, but I don't know. I mean, when that happens, the whole world would be standing either with Pakistan or with India. I'm sure it's going to be World
Yeah,
War
but they
III.
will all be sending condolence messages. They
Nothing
can't do
else.
anything. So
Wow.
whatever world has to do now, and there are
Mhm.
only so many countries in the world that have capability that we know of, and
Right.
United States and Israel are at the top, and we have good friendly relations with them. And if I was PM of India, I'll go to them and say, hey guys,
Fire
give us
those
anti-ballistic missile. And it takes time, A, to acquire them,
and
B,
that
to position them, to test them out. So I would say give time to Prime Minister Modi to prepare well. Once what happens, happens, then all of us will say that Narendra Modi was very, very smart and he did very well for India. I can assure you that will come. Whether it will happen in 1 month or 2 months or 6 months, I don't know the answer.
to happen. It has to
And
happen.
I have no inside track to say that.
Why did he meet Mr. Mohan Bhagwat or Bhagwatji? Was it some kind of
I have no way of knowing.
what do we make out of this?
Again, we'll never know. He might want to have the blessings, or Mohan Bhagwat may have requested a meeting to express his views.
Mm.
Look, if I can get appointment to see Prime Minister Modi, and I met him on 26th of February, so just about 2 months ago, Mohan Bhagwat can get the appointment 10 times more, right?
Yes, anytime, just a call and then
Yeah. So
yeah,
if Mohan Bhagwat calls for whatever reason, even
yeah,
out of courtesy,
yeah,
Narendra Modi will give him appointment.
yeah, yeah. No, but I'm sure. I mean, you also know. We all could. I mean, this is the perfect timing for it is regarding this some kind of messaging that
It's
is
possible,
very
but I can
serious.
assure you that during my meeting on 26th of February, it was more a friend meeting old friend after, of course, I met him in November when he
Okay.
was there, but there was nothing more. We discussed a lot about US India relations, NRIs, the diaspora, but didn't discuss anything about India's domestic politics. I stay away from it. That's not my
What does he
book.
think about it? What kind of NRI support he seeks out? He always comes here. Tell us a little bit about your meeting with
Kunal,
him.
he does not have to seek out any support.
Right.
It is our duty
Okay.
as NRI. We had 600 people on a Monday morning, 11:30 a.m., demonstrating in front of Pakistani consulate. We 22nd, the attack happened.
Wow.
We got the permit on 25th, and on 28th, we were on Michigan Avenue in Chicago, and 600 people showed up there.
Showed up.
And a working day, weekday. And this Tuesday, it is happening in front of Pakistani mission in New York, coming Tuesday, 2 days from now. And demonstrations have taken place all over USA. It is spontaneous. Indian government does not have to ask for it. That is our duty. It is our allegiance to India and people of India. So we
Some
have
somebody told me.
listen.
Somebody
We are
told me.
also contacting the congressmen and senators. So if you
Yes.
ask, what should we do? We are already doing it on our own, and we will do it.
Because somebody said in a group that the Trump is tracking all activists, and it may affect their visa issues or anything. Do these NRIs really need to worry about those things, especially the
Well,
ones participating in the
here
demonstration?
is what we did. A, there was nothing against USA in this demonstration.
Right.
Number two, however, as extra precautions, we told all people who had student visa or F1B, we told them do not come to participate in the demonstration. See, we told them please don't come. We told only people who are US citizens, even green card people, there should have been no effect on them because there was nothing against Trump or
Correct.
nothing against USA. But we
Perfect.
still told them if you don't feel comfortable, don't come.
Don't come.
But those people who are US citizens, and we are
How
not,
do they get? Do we need to give them the information about people who are participating in the demonstrations or
no,
protests?
no, no, no. This
So
was
anyway,
our planning, the planning committee meeting. We thought that even though there is nothing USA,
yeah,
if they are tracking, we told students, please don't come. Those who had H1B visa, please don't come. We
yeah,
said only the citizens should come, and those who feel comfortable, green card holders.
correct, correct. And so no we this was a fantastic conversation we had so far. A lot of people, over 105 people are right now participating, so this is good. Some people are asking, Dunga, why all secular Bangladesh are with India? Please close all the madrasas coming from Muslim family. All secular. This is somebody is saying something anyway. uh, but my final question before there was one more question which came, which was very about the about the safety of our people back in India. Those who are like, so a lot of Pakistanis are flying their families to US or wherever they are in UK or wherever they are. Do you have any suggestions for those Indians who are like kind of who are in unrest, have anxiety, they wants to, they have single moms living in India, parents, or anybody, I mean, any people who are flying from India to US, US to India. What do you think? Do you have any suggestions? What should they do for next 2 months?
There is no way to predict, Kunal. Each one will have to make their own individual decisions.
Hmm.
Is there a tiny possibility? And I would say it's only tiny, because it's one thing to make rhetoric in Pakistan's so-called parliament to say, haha, we have nuclear weapons. They
Right.
think that these are like toys that they can just throw. They also should be conversant that India also has nuclear weapons, and India has triple, in the sense we have army triad, we have air force, we have Rafales, and Rafales are bought particularly capable of carrying nuclear weapons. We have submarines, and we have destroyers, we have aircraft carriers. So we have naval, air, and ground based nuclear weapons. And I can assure you by common sense, not that I have any insider track, if I was Prime Minister of India and Pakistan fired one nuclear missile, they should take care of entire Pakistan. That's a horrible thing to say, because a lot of Pakistani, it is interesting. Pakistan is split now. This army, the government is a puppet government. We know that this is facilitated by army. And now in Pakistan, and even non-resident Pakistanis in USA, they are split. They are split pro-Imran, anti-Imran. And there are not too many people who are anti-Imran. There are some who have their allegiance to Islam and army, but most Pakistanis who are here, they don't like this army. They think that these are corrupt people, and they want to see how many Pakistanis really fight for these corrupt army officials.
So, is it a fight against now? I think, in my view, now it is very clear it is the Pakistan who is the culprit.
Oh yeah.
Most people are trying to say it is Islam, but do you think Iran will come or Greece will come to support Pakistan if something like this happens?
No, Kunal, let me tell you something. We should try to separate jihadis from Muslims. I'm so glad that 99.9% of Muslims in India have strongly supported India.
Yeah, in this time,
Yeah.
yes, we saw it. We
So
could.
they realize that Pakistan today, even Oasis said, Pakistan is a failed nation. It's a very poor country. How many Indian Muslims have migrated to Pakistan after 1947? Why would anybody go there? They will go to UK, they will go to Germany, they will go to USA, they will go to Dubai, they will go to Saudi Arabia. They will not go to Pakistan. They will not go to Bangladesh. Why do we have so many Bangladeshis coming here if the country was so good? So I would distinguish between jihadis and Muslims. Those who are jihadis, who owe their allegiance only to Islam and not to India, hell with them. But let me tell you, 2 months ago, in January and February, I was in United Arab Emirates and Bahrain. Those Muslims are very decent people. The population of United Arab Emirates, 12.5 million. The native Arabs, about 1.1 million. Who is number one population in United Arab Emirates? Indians, 4 million.
Yes.
There are 4 million Indians in United Arab Emirates, 1.1 million native population. Yes, these people don't get anything except work visa. They have to review their visa every 3 years. And some people who have long-term investment get 10-year visa. But nobody gets UAE citizenship.
No, no.
Same by Bahrain, very small Arab population. And so let me assure you, I have seen United Arab Emirates and Bahrain. They are very respectful of other religions. So these Muslims are different than the jihadis. And even this time, Indian Muslims have shown probably realizing that, look, what is Pakistan? Country that doesn't have enough milk to have a cup of tea, doesn't have enough food, atta, and if you side with them, it's not going to make any difference. So why go there? Instead, In India, they are a lot better
Their
off.
religious shake is now failing. That out of the religion, what they
They
were
are
using.
trying to put more and more thought process about what is in their best interest. Sure, they would like to go and settle in Dubai, but in Dubai, even they get very poor salary. I was
Yeah.
talking to some of the people. They said they get like $300 per month or $400 per month, but that is more than they might have made in India. So they go there. The guy who was putting the wheelchair, I asked him, he was from Kerala, how much money you are paid? He said $300 per month, and then he has to work 28 days, 12 hours a day. He gets 2 days off per month. So, yes, it is better than what they get in India. Almost 40 or 50 of them stay in a large room. They have their cots. So, but they are trying to do what is good for their family, send money back to India. So I
I,
don't think any Indian Muslim is interested in going to Pakistan or Bangladesh. And I'm glad that this time they have been very loyal. They openly voiced their support. In fact, almost all the Muslim religious institutions, organizations have openly voiced their support and advocated.
I'm surprised with seeing this. The MP Sorabuddin, or what's his name, from Hyderabad, who used to vocal about
Wasi.
Obviously, and
Yeah.
he is now, yeah, he's very vocal about India. So this is very good, actually. It's always pleasure talking to you, Dr. Barai. We have such a fantastic, a lot of people join and they all wants to talk, listen, and this is great conversation. I know we have to go now. It's almost an hour, but that was a fantastic conversation, Dr. Barai. Thank you so much for everything what you're doing. I know you have been working very hard to keep our diaspora intact. So thank you very
We
much.
are always there to support India and people of India.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you
And we are
so much.
doing our job here.
Yes, yes, and me too. So I feel very proud to be associated with
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Barai. Have a
You're welcome.
fantastic rest of the evening.
Thank
Thank
you,
you so much.
Jain.
Jai Hind. So this was our conversation with Dr. Barai. I hope you liked it. We have our link here. Our website is sonofindia.org. We're not asking for any donations or anything. You guys just join whenever you want to join. Support us. We want to talk about good things about India, how NRIs can contribute, and what you can do, what I can do to make an impact, make a difference. Thank you very much. Keep watching our show. It is NREYES on YouTube and on Facebook as well. Son of India is our page. So thank you so much, guys, everybody, and have a fantastic Sunday. Thank you.